Americans love to believe we have the best of everything, but when it comes to high-speed rail, we've been left in the dust. In Europe, Japan, and China, sleek trains fly across countries at lightning speeds, while here, we're still stuck in traffic on the I-15. That could finally be about to change. Maybe you hear about Brightline, which has already made headlines in Florida, and now it's bringing that same bold vision out west, so it's called Brightline West. Some even say this revival of private rail investment, think modern-day robber barons, could be exactly what America needs to fix its broken system. So, is this the moment the US finally joins the high-speed rail revolution? Let's break it down in today's episode of On the Trains. Brightline West, August 2025 update. As of August 2025, things are really heating up on the Brightline West front. Fieldwork, progress reports, and even some flashy new renderings are giving us a glimpse of what's coming and how soon we might actually be zipping between LA and Vegas at 200 miles per hour. So let's start with what's happening on the ground. Crews are out along the I-15 corridor in Victorville and Rancho Cucamonga, doing the unglamorous but essential prep work, geotechnical borings, utility potholing, and land surveys. Think of it as laying the groundwork before the heavy machinery rolls in. Just this past week, August 18th through 20th, they were out at night near the I-15 and La Paz Road interchange in Victorville, and during the day at the I-15 and State Route 210 interchange. Drivers may notice some short shoulder closures, but officials promise minimal impact. Basically, slow down, follow the signs, and construction will keep moving forward. And here's the big picture. All this fieldwork is the final puzzle piece before full-scale construction begins in spring 2025. According to the latest progress reports, pre-construction is 99% done. We're right on the edge of seeing major builds like bridges, overpasses, and station work really ramp up. Speaking of stations, Brightline West recently updated their website and dropped a fresh batch of renderings. And I'll admit, they look pretty slick. We're talking wide train aisles, glowing nighttime shots, party cars that make you want to save up and book one, and even premium station lounges at Rancho Cucamonga that feel more like airports than train stations. Personally, I wouldn't mind waiting for a train in a place that looks like that, and here's why this matters. Brightline West isn't some pie-in-the-sky concept. With $12 billion in backing from Fortress Investment Group, plus federal grants and tax-exempt bonds, it's a blend of private money and public support that feels different. Monthly high-speed rail updates now consistently spotlight Brightline West alongside California's high-speed rail project. And unlike so many US rail dreams that fizzled out, this one is moving forward step by step. From field crews to new station designs, all signs point the same way. America's first true high-speed rail is finally within reach. The only question is, will Brightline West deliver or hit the same roadblocks as before? But before we stick with Brightline West, let's shift over to Florida, because what's happening there gives us a glimpse into both the opportunities and challenges Brightline faces. Brightline Florida. Brightline's Miami to Orlando extension, which opened in 2023, has already carried more than 1.5 million passengers at speeds up to 125 miles per hour. Ridership was up 14% year-over-year this June, thanks in part to finally having all 10 six-car trains in service. The issue? That number really needs to be closer to 40% to hit their projections. To help fill seats, Brightline has slightly lowered prices, adjusted schedules, and doubled down on building awareness now that they've got the capacity. Financially, it's been a balancing act. Earlier this summer, Brightline deferred an interest payment on $1.2 billion of debt while securing another $400 million in private activity bonds. Tampa itself is a massive project, over $3 billion, with a Sunshine Corridor study alone taking 2 years just to figure out a route through the Disney area. The immediate focus is shoring up the books while still pointing toward future growth. Adding another layer, Florida's passenger rail operator is reissuing nearly $1 billion in private activity bond debt, whose mandatory redemption has come due. The Series 2025 B bond memo runs over 1,300 pages, carries a 10% term rate, and is expected to yield 15% to existing 2025A bondholders. Plus, bondholders are being offered a security lien on Brightline West equity, tying Florida financing to the westward expansion in a very tangible way. The bond documents show Brightline holds $7.2 billion in assets against $6.2 billion in liabilities, with $4.4 billion of that as long-term debt. Significant real estate and equipment investments back them up, making it unlikely Fortress Investment Group would let things sink. Still, like any savvy investor, Fortress prefers that outside bondholders carry more of the risk. Meanwhile, there's been some legal turbulence. Brightline is facing a lawsuit from Host Railroad Florida East Coast over commuter rail plans out of Miami. And yet, the ridership story shows momentum. Revenues are up 11% year over year, premium passengers are coming back strong, and by the end of 2025, Siemens will deliver new coaches that double premium capacity. So here's the bottom line. Florida shows both the promise and the pressure. Brightline has proven it can run modern passenger rail in the US, something few thought possible, but it's also juggling debt, expansion, and ridership growth at the same time. And that brings us back to Brightline West, where all eyes are watching to see if the Florida playbook can really deliver America's first true high-speed rail. Can private rail succeed? It's all about proving that private enterprise can deliver where government projects sometimes stall. Brightline's approach demonstrates how a private-led, government-supported model can work. The private sector drives construction and operations, while the government provides grants, tax-exempt bonds, and strategic support. If successful, this model could bypass some of the bureaucratic hurdles that have held back legacy rail systems like Amtrak. The Brightline West construction officially broke ground in 2024, with a target completion in 2028. While delays and cost overruns are common in U.S. projects, even a modestly successful rollout would be a major achievement and a strong proof of concept for this private-led approach. Excitement ramps up further with plans to integrate Brightline West into the broader California high-speed rail network. The goal is a connected Southwest system linking Vegas not just to Rancho Cucamonga, but onward to LA, San Francisco, and beyond via connections at Palmdale. Imagine seamless high-speed travel across the region, turning isolated lines into a network that boosts tourism, creates jobs, and strengthens the economy. Looking beyond the Southwest, a successful Brightline West could pave the way for other select corridors across the U.S. The country may never have a network like China's or Japan's, but routes such as Washington to Boston, where airport congestion is high and travel demand is strong, could finally support high-speed rail that actually works for Americans. If you're as pumped as we are, hit that like button, subscribe for more updates, and drop in the comments. Would you ride this train to Vegas? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next track.